Got snacks, we got drinks. Cheers to having a girls' night. Cheers, I needed this. I'm so glad you could come, girl.
Cheers, ladies. And thanks again for inviting me.
Of course, I love a good girls' night. The last one Jess and I had was so fun. All right, so Jess, tell me a random pet peeve that you have. Talking about me with my husband Carl or just anyone? I mean, it could be, but just something that random people do that is a pet peeve of yours. The first thing that comes to my mind is people who say, like men who say, we are pregnant. Like, oh, are y'all both pushing it out? Okay.
I always thought it was sweet. Like the man was letting his woman know that she wasn't in this alone, you know, like being inclusive.
I wish I could have included my son's dad in on trampoline bladder time and peeing 376 times a day. Maybe I would have only had to have peed 200 times that day if I could include him. It's been 2 years since my youngest was born, and I still pee a little bit every time I sneeze.
Still? That sounds terrible.
That's not even scratching the surface. I would love for a man to experience tasting battery acid in the bottom of his throat every time he ate a cracker. If men had to carry and deliver babies, none of us would be here right now. The human race would just be we wouldn't exist. I couldn't agree more. The first man to ever experience morning sickness would just tap out on the spot and decide that humanity wasn't worth it. If Carl so much as gets a headache or a hangover, God forbid, he acts like he's not gonna make it. I'm like, imagine that every morning for months. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to handle it, no way. I am so glad I did not have morning sickness, but one time, this guy, when I was like 6.5 months pregnant, told me that I was barely pregnant. I wanted to punch him. I'm like, barely pregnant? I'm closer to delivery than you are to the next time you wash your sheets. You know what I would have said to that guy? I said, yeah, it's kind of like when you get snipped. 6 months after, you're still barely snipped. Better be careful. I really should have said that. I would pay to see the confused look on that guy's face. I guess it would have depended on who we said it to, because some men believe that real men don't get snipped. What? I'm gonna wave the red flag for us all. That's an issue that he's got a complex of some sort. Wade and I do not want kids. It's always been our decision. And y'all are just reaffirming that for me right now, because none of that sounds like anything I want to go through. But when he found out that it was going to be either a major surgery for me with major recovery time, or he could go get snipped on his lunch break, takes like 10 to 30 minutes or something, and then sit on the couch all weekend with a bag of peas and get babied, because that's what I did. It was a no-brainer for him. Now, that's what a real man does. Putting your woman first, to me, is real man behavior. Jess, did you want to have any more kids? I don't know. Maybe. It's more leaning towards no, though. What's Carl say? He's open to it. He loves kids, and he is such a great dad. I can't say that enough. But 3 has been a little bit overwhelming for us. I mean, we're outnumbered now. So, I don't know. I actually saw a study where they said that mothers with 3 kids had more stress than the ones with like 4 or 5. So it like dips after 3. Interesting. I wonder why. They probably got too tired to care anymore and just gave up. Pearl, I'm about there right now. So I could see that. After 3, it becomes more of like a system, and the older kids help with chores and help with the younger kids, and it just gets easier. We'll just have to see. I have time to decide because I'm only 31. So trust me, I'm not trying to convince you to have any more kids, Jess. I just wanted to share with you. I have my hands full with just 1. But anyway, Pearl, I want to hear your most crazy swinger story that you've got. I know you've got some. Wait, you're a swinger? Yeah, let's hear some stories. You didn't know that? I'm full of stories, but my best one, oh, y'all are gonna love it. And that's not even scratching the surface. I would love a piece of popcorn. My craziest swinger story. Y'all are gonna like this one. But hey, Michelle, while I tell this story, do you mind making us a shot? Jess, you wanna do a shot too? No thanks.
I know you like tequila, Pearl, and I can't do tequila.
Well, I can make us something fruity that's vodka based. Would you do it then?
Sure. Yeah, I just don't want to taste the alcohol, that's all. Can you make it strong, though? Because I don't want it to be like straight juice or something. No offense, Jess.
Don't worry, I got y'all.
Okay, so Wade and I went to this swingers event, and it was one of them fancy ones where, you know, they had charcuterie boards, or however you say it, and wine and contracts. Not like one of them backyard ones where they've got a broke down grill and a moldy smelling hot tub.
Ew. Contracts for what? Is that a thing?
A lot of times there's contracts at these like organized events. They're like consent forms. So like making sure that your boundaries are respected and making sure everybody's protected from STDs and making sure no one takes photos or videos of anyone in the groups for discretion and privacy, that type of thing.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they were that organized.
Well, they ain't always like that, but this one was. We met this couple. It was Lacey and Ryan. Ryan was my type. And Lacey, she was a hoot, okay? She was so funny. Wade loved her. And it was one of the, I would say, top 5 couples that we've ever hooked up with. So I got Lacey's number, and we agreed that maybe we would hook up again in the future. So I texted Lacey and asked her if she would be willing to get together with Ryan again. And she invited Wade and I over to their house. It was a nice house. And we were laughing and drinking and carrying on. But I noticed that something was a little off about Ryan.
All right, y'all, this is blueberry raspberry lemonade. When you said off like what?
That sounds good. Thank you. I don't know. He wasn't as talkative or something. I just brushed it off and figured that he had had more to drink at the event than he had had the night that we went over to their house. But speaking of which, y'all, cheers.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
That was really good.
That was good. Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks. I had never made it before, but I wanted to try that combination. Anyway, Pearl, what happened? Did you guys end up hooking up again?
The night was going great. But we go to the bedroom, and Wade's over there with Lacey, and I'm over there with Ryan. And I told Ryan to do the thing that I had taught him to do at the event.
So what was the thing? I know. Pearl, don't be gatekeeping on us now.
I like when they're behind me, and they take their thumbs and put them on the small of my back and rub in a circular motion. I know it's random, but I like it.
Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but go ahead.
He had no idea what I was talking about. And he was doing it so perfectly a few weeks earlier. So I knew it wasn't him.
How would it not be him? What do you mean? Yeah. Who was it?
Earlier that night, I had seen a wedding photo of them on their mantle. And I was looking at it. And the best man looked exactly like Ryan. So I was like, who's that? He said, oh, that's my identical brother, Brian. I didn't think anything of it at the time.
So it was the twin?
No. Yes. Turns out Brian was pretending to be Ryan.
So the guy you hooked up with at their house, Lacey and Ryan's house, wasn't Ryan. It was Brian. So he is not actually married to Lacey. That was his identical twin brother? I'm confused.
Ryan was the one I hooked up with the first time. He used his real name. Brian is the one that is married to Lacey. I went to his house. He was the one that I was hooking up with the second time. The first time was his brother. It turns out his wife, Ryan's real wife, is not a swinger. She would not be okay with that.
And they thought they could just switch places? Did his wife find out? This is the 4th attempt at trying to respond to this comment. I'm trying to let you guys know how I come up with my stuff. And on day in the life, like kind of what it looks like for me. And the bottom line is that I've always been really great at storytelling. And I just never have used my gifts, like since I was little. I use ChatGPT a lot for research. ChatGPT is not good at all for coming up with a skit. Ask ChatGPT to come up with a skit for you. I guarantee you it'll be garbage because it is literally so cringe. You think my stuff is cringe? It's so bad. The reason I use ChatGPT is because it's a lot faster to get research done through ChatGPT because it can search the entire internet for something. Like, do you think I have an experience with the cartel or marked money? Like, shoot, today I even asked ChatGPT if swingers have contracts and what they would look like. I've never been arrested, knock on wood for all of that. I have no experience. I don't even know what a CI was before ChatGPT told me. And I had to figure out, because Wade is a sheriff. I've never been a sheriff. I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So I really write it as I go along. If I don't know something, because I like everything to match up with how everything would go in like real life, sort of. I mean, I know that it's not exactly how it would, but I like it to try to seem somewhat real. What I do is I get up in the morning, I make my bed, I get ready and I do that no matter if I have my son that day or not, because how I present myself to the world is this is just my experience, how I feel on the inside. I'm not trying to discount anybody else's experience. Every time I try to explain this, I feel like somebody takes offense to it or something.